Hello, everyone. I'm the Vacuuminator.
Hi, Buster.
And this week in Toku, we're going to be discussing Up from the Depths, 30 stories tall, breathing fire. It's Godzilla, Godzilla, Godzilla! And I guess Kamen Rider Legend too. Anyway, Buster, how you doing this week?
Well, my week's been Godzilla filled, I can tell you that.
Yeah, it's fucking it's the week of Godzilla Day. It's gonna happen.
Yeah, well, because of a challenge that we'll discuss, I put myself on, we'll discuss at the end of this podcast. But yeah, there's been a lot of Godzilla stuff happening. It's good to hear, because Godzilla is pretty based.
Yeah, I've been talking about it as it's been coming out on No Prize, but if anybody hasn't been checking out the comic Godzilla Here There Be Dragons, that wrapped up this week, and it was fucking excellent. I really recommend
Is that
it.
the one of the vinyl toys?
I don't think it has any toys attached to it. It's
No,
just
I think it looks like the vinyl toy. Or is that a different one?
I have no idea. All I know is it was fucking Godzilla meets Pirates of the Caribbean, and it was awesome.
Here They Be Dragons. Yeah, I just found it. Yeah, I'll look into this.
Mm-hmm. Oh, man.
Anything
Well, anyway.
How are you doing, Mr. Vacuuminator?
I am, it's been a bit of a rough day. No real thing that could have been avoided, just like some bullshit welling up. You know how it is sometimes. But,
Yeah.
I got the new Black Series Darth Vader in the mail, so that was nice.
Yeah.
But I think that's pretty much all I want to get into right now. So I'll go ahead and plug all the things, everybody. Support Modular Media, like, comment, subscribe. Ring the bell in order to enable notifications so that you know when all of our podcasts are coming out. It's not just This Week in Toku, but it's the No Prize podcast where myself and Boingo Rider talk about comics. It's Saturday morning panels where myself and Snowcone talk about G.I. Joe, and it's Modular Components where we all sit around and shoot the shit and utter S words that you can say. And there's Analytical Fanboys, which is a once a month thing where we all watch something that one of the others has selected. This last month we did Monument Mythos because Boingo Rider hates us. But that's basically it. That's all the plugging we really need to do aside from our social media, which is on Blue Sky at modularmedia.bsky.social, on Twitter at the Modular Media, and on Tumblr at Modular Media. But folks, you know all about that. You don't come here for that anymore. You know where to get your Modular Media content. You come here for the news. So let's get right into the news. Our top story this week, Ultraman Blazar is getting a bird friend.
Or a Bakugan.
Yeah, it does kind of look like a Bakugan now that you say that. I hadn't noticed before, but yeah. It's got that vibe. But yeah, no, new roleplay toy that has like a bird friend mode. I think it might talk in the show because there's like dialogue sounds that's being advertised.
It might just be roars.
Might. It very well might. And there's, of course, a new Blazar stone that when you put it in the Blazar brace makes the sound to activate the armor mode that we saw in scans a few weeks back. And it can also attach to... What is the sword called again? They haven't ever said its name in the show. It's like
the sword. We'll just call it the sword.
Yeah, it attaches to the sword to make a bigger sword. So if you already bought all that stuff, I guess go ahead and buy this because, like, I'll say this for Blazar, its roleplay line has been very well paced, I feel like. Like, sure, there's a bajillion Blazar stones, but as far as stuff that's actually in the show, you've not been bombarded like you have been in previous years or like you get with Rider and Sentai.
Yeah, like, the show is really good at pacing its elements out, which is, I think, one of its biggest strengths, where it's like, it lets you focus on the plot of the week and just let you do whatever. And, like, if there is a big, like, new item to sell, it's very organically integrated.
Mm-hmm. Well, speaking of the exact opposite of that, we got a bunch of scans that showed off a bunch of stuff from the Legends special that we've now seen in the Legends special. I put this on the dock earlier in the week when I thought the Legends special was still a couple of weeks out. If you want to look at these, you can. The link's in the video description along with all the other news links. Anyways, Dark Kuwagata-Ohger exists as a stage show only suit, and it looks fine. It looks like they just hit the regular suit with some black paint.
Yeah, it's a nice, simple little thing. Kind of looks like the symbiote is attached to the chest.
A little bit, yeah. Or like he's got a big scab.
Yeah. It's neat. I don't think we'll see this in the show because that's not how
Probably
stage shows
not.
work.
But what we will be seeing in the show is Kamen Rider Gotchard's first big upgrade form. We now have the DX toys for that announced, which is like a big thing that goes over the driver and also becomes a sword. I'm not really liking the look of this. It looks very like it doesn't look like a weapon. It very blatantly looks like a toy. I usually like it when Rider weapons strike a balance in both those departments, and here it just very much just looks like a big hunk of plastic.
I can understand that, but I like the versatility of this, where it's like it can be both a role play item and a weapon role play item. So it's like I like when like they have multiple functions in one. So I'm kind of down with this.
That's true. I'm always for a changer also being a weapon. So it's like I said, it's not terrible. It's a decent concept. I'm just not a huge fan of the execution. And who knows? Maybe the prop in the show will look way better than the actual toy.
Yeah.
Um,
Let's talk about something we kind of already knew, but it's nice to get elaboration on.
Yeah, Taguchi basically confirmed in his latest behind-the-scenes post that the whole reason Blazar is allowed to be as adventurous as it has is because Ultraman Z took baby steps in that direction, and it gave Bandai and Subaraya the confidence to let the show be more adventurous than it had been since the beginning of the New Generation era.
Yeah, like no, I don't think Blazer's as big of a refinement as people are making out to be, but it's still a refinement. It is still like a very like back to basics, but still very like exciting Ultraman show. And like I like the new gen line, so I'm a bit biased, but yeah, I can agree. This is making like good strides to like get us like to where more fans want us to be. I still think 25 episodes is a good limit. I don't want to go back to 50 episode
Yeah,
productions.
both are good, both are valid, but this is what works right now, and we're probably moving
Yeah.
towards something new and different with Blazar.
Yeah, it probably helps that like Zet won an award, like a very prestigious award. So it's like, oh, that
That's right,
award
I
is
always
big.
forget about that.
Yeah, it's like freaking the last tokusatsu to won that award was Deca Ranger back in 2004.
Man.
Yeah, and like it beat out Demon Slayer for that award, which is like if you know Demon Slayer, that was a big hit in Japan at the time. I think it still is, but like like that was when the movie came out and became like the highest grossing movie during pandemic years. So,
Yeah. Demon
uh,
Slayer's it's a thing. I've heard of
yeah,
it.
same.
That's saying
I haven't.
something for an anime.
Let's talk about some other things we've heard of.
Yeah, there's a new side character coming up in Ultraman Blazar very soon, and we've seen some scans of the suit, but we recently got a listing for the final figure of Zangear, is how I'm going to say you pronounce that for now. And with that comes a brief bio for him that basically describes him as some sort of space Buddhist monk who hunts down kaiju so that he can kill them and free their souls to send them to Nirvana.
I think he's gonna be the Juggless Juggler of Blazar.
Yeah, though it's like it's less of just like goofy space asshole and more like religious zealots.
Yeah,
And
I mean, like
I'm
it's
kind
still
of down for that.
like the alien rival to the Ultraman is what I'm saying. But like, yeah, it's a
Hmm.
good variation on that. I'm very interested. I really hope. I also like his design. Like the kind of reminds me of that one Gamera kaiju with the knife head.
Gauss,
Uh,
yeah.
Gauss. Gauss? No, Gauss doesn't have the knife head. Gauss is like the pterodactyl.
I thought that's
Whatever. But point
whatever.
is, like, yeah, it still looks cool.
Yeah, I don't know my kaiju. Whatever. What I
Speaking
do
of
know
kaiju,
What I do know is Godzilla -1 looks really fucking good because we got
yeah.
a second trailer for it just the other day, and there's some new stuff in this. And I don't want to give spoilers because I'm sure there are people who at this point, because it's out in Japan, are under like total blackout of I don't want to know anything about the movie at this point. I just want to go and see it. But I will say the new thing that's at the end of this trailer, I straight up that was one of those rare moments in modern Toku where I went, "Oh, that's fucking brilliant. Why has no one done that before?"
Okay, now I'm not watching the trailer because I want to be surprised by that.
Yeah, it's a good trailer. You can check it out if you want. Again, links in the video description for all the news, but I think that's all we really need to say on that. And we can go ahead and move on to the fact that Minus One had a pretty good opening weekend in Japan. It got off to a rocky start because on the first day it opened at number 8, but
Well,
then by the end of the weekend, it actually beat Shin Godzilla's opening weekend.
I think the one at number 8 is like worldwide, while the other one you're thinking of is like this is the worldwide box office. But I think the other one you're thinking of
Oh.
is because this is just like it, but still number 8 worldwide. That's still pretty impressive. And then they number 1 in Japan where it really matters. So this
Yeah.
makes me, especially because this movie's getting advertised in American like TV networks. It's just like there's
Yeah,
more
when
like an
it's
American
out in the
push.
US, we could see it make a major jump.
Yeah, so we will see. It's also just because it just has a wider release than any Toku film in the recent memory. So
Yeah, there's like I couldn't find a early screening in my area, but like every theater in my area has at least 2 screenings per day, starting from the actual release date until a week and a half after, which is much better than any of the Shin movies got.
yeah, so it's good. And speaking of cool things that are happening in the world of kaiju,
Yeah, so on Godzilla Day, Bandai made probably my favorite announcement from them in a long ass time because SH Monsterarts Jet Jaguar is happening.
yeah, and I literally saw this right after I finished versus Megalon.
Yeah, no, it legitimately looks beautiful too, because I can see almost no joint gaps on it. And that is so rare for anything in the Figure Arts Monster Arts realm.
It kind of already
Oh,
is a bit like it's kind of designed to be very jointy and action figure like. So it's like I think it translates much better to figure arts than like any other suit.
yeah,
So
but like the only thing that's really even kind of egregious on it, I would say, is it has the normal like weirdly small Figure Arts wrists. But other than that, this thing looks fantastic. We've only got the one teaser image for it right now, no official pre-order or accessory layout or anything like that. But man, I think this might be my first SH Monster Arts because I unironically love Jet Jaguar. Versus Megalon is one of the few Showa Godzilla movies I've seen, and I actually remember really enjoying it. And I've got all kinds of good Jet Jaguar vibes after today. So we'll be talking about that more as the podcast goes on, but definitely very exciting to see that get announced.
yeah.
Not so exciting, at least for me, is Kamen Rider 5 is getting a mobile game crossover with Symphogear. Symphogear is one of those things that I've heard of, and that's about it. And this preview image does not entice me at all to learn more about Symphogear.
My friends really like Symphogear. My friends. I'm glad Inoue is writing that. Let's leave it at that. I'm just glad Inoue is writing the event. Let us
Are you
leave it
gonna
at that.
watch it to be an Inoue completionist?
I'm like far from an Inoue completionist so far, but like I've really only like his like Kamen Rider works.
Yeah,
Don't have a
you're the biggest Inoue fan I know though. So if anybody I
yeah.
know is gonna become an Inoue completionist, it's fucking you.
Yeah, man, I'll if it gets English subtitles because this is a Japan only mobile event. So anyway, Godzilla 70th anniversary logo because I guess people like celebrating anniversaries early.
Yeah, they revealed like, hey, we made a cool animated logo for the 70th anniversary next year, and it's like, oh, that's nice. It's you should be celebrating the 69th because haha funny, but I guess that's cool.
It's a good
Wait,
logo
did
though.
y'all just straight up rip off the fucking Marvel Studios logo?
Well, like I feel like a lot of Japanese and just overall people are ripping off Marvel Studios logos. But Kamen Rider even did that at the beginning of Revice with the 50th anniversary logo. So it's like
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot about that. Jesus.
it's the style of the time.
I mean, it's not a bad style, but it's also just like I don't know if it's the right style for Godzilla.
It works because it's like it's cracks, it's crack, it's like monster. They style it in a different way for
Oh
for
God, I just realized.
what?
Do you think there's going to be something like this at the start of the freaking Doctor Who 60th anniversary
Oh,
specials?
100%, 100%.
Great. I can't wait. Oh, man.
Yeah. Anyway, the Geats
Uh,
Chemmy is a VTuber. I don't know the VTuber's name, but people were speculating.
it's the person everybody thought it was going to be, and everybody's very excited. And congratulations to this person. I never heard of him before last week, but, chase your dreams, folks.
Well, I'm gonna be chasing this Moffon plushie.
Yeah, because today fucking Bandai announced a 124 centimeters or 4 foot tall Muffon plush, which is the size of a small child. I love that they're getting this crazy with the Muffon merch, but also like, who's going to be the actual mad lad that imports this? I want to meet the person who imports this. Whoever you are, fucking contact me in the web zone and send me pictures of it in your American house.
Well, speaking of importing of some kind,
yeah, our final story this week is Shin Ultraman is getting a new Blu-ray release because fuck Cleopatra. A company called Raven Banner has picked it up, and they are going to be releasing it with a whole new English translation subtitle and a fancy new slipcover that I really dig.
Yeah, this looks amazing. There's like, it also has like art. Ooh, tasty art. Like,
and,
I already pre-ordered this. I kind of want it just for the art, and I already have it.
Yeah, and you checked around before recording, and apparently this is a very reputable company. I've never heard of them before, but I trust you because you trust your people, and you know better sources for this kind of stuff than I do. So I'm not going to pre-order it right now, just because I'm a little hard up for cash. I'm actually having car trouble at the moment.
Dang.
But when this thing ships, which will be at the end of December, I'm probably going to snag a copy. Now, can we please just get an official Western release for Shin Kamen Rider? God damn it.
Please. I mean, we only had the there's the Amazon Prime streaming, but like, I want physical. I
want a physical plastic disc on my shelf. Anyway, new releases.
Not many.
Yeah, because Ultraman is off this week because it's just their standard usual time to take a break for a recap special, and there was nothing of value in this week's recap special. And Superhero Time got preempted because of an attack by the Rally Empire. So we're stuck with a Toei Tokusatsu fan club special and 2 short films. So let's fucking get it on.
All right, Kamen Rider Gotchard versus Kamen Rider Legend, episode 1 of 2.
I was pleasantly surprised by this.
It's a very Toei Tokusatsu fan club special, but I like those, so let's go.
Here's the thing, it feels like an actual episode of the show, though. I don't feel like they just shoved the actors into one location for a weekend. It feels like there was actual effort and thought put into this, and the sound design is on par with the show, and there's actually a couple of cool little bits of action. Like, I'm still not in love with Legend as a character, but I didn't hate the execution of this.
Like, it kind of felt a bit like... I'm waiting for part 2, because, like, I didn't get much out of this. It was really cool. It felt very, like, let's shove all the new Legend toys. How does his gimmicks work? You know, it just... Not really. And it's cool
to
see...
a brief introduction to his character, which is friggin' hilarious. Getting out of the outdoor bathtub filled with jewels.
Yeah, like, I like Legend from what I see. I just don't have enough of him, you know?
Mm-hmm.
It felt like I probably because it's only like 15 minutes compared to the usual 20 minutes of a Gotchard episode. It just like it felt like only like a slice of bread, and just probably didn't help that there's an episode 2 of 2 coming. So
yeah, and it's probably all gonna feel like just one extra episode of Gotchard at the end of the day. But I mean, I don't know. I liked at least getting to meet the new the character with the new best name in Kamen Rider, Butler the Butler.
Oh yeah, that made me laugh. That was so funny.
It's like, damn, y'all ain't even trying, but I'm here for it.
Yeah, it's cute stuff. And it was not. I also love the Butler's introductions for every rider. I especially popped off when he said Armored Rider Gaim.
And referencing that Kaiza uses a now outdated form of cell phone.
Yeah. Just really
by
good
the way,
jokes.
love the fucking choice to have like a bunch of main writers and then just Kaiser, because we just have that suit out right now. Fuck it.
Yeah, for the anniversary stuff. So yeah, it makes sense. I think it was fine. I'm kind of waiting till the end to like fully judge this. You know.
Were those Mook guys a repaint of something? Because I didn't recognize.
Oh, they
them.
were from Geo.
Oh, okay.
Which makes sense given what happens next time, according to the preview.
Yeah, it's been a minute and a half since I've seen Geo, so it tracks that I wouldn't recognize them.
Yeah, but
not bad, but also not great. It's just kind of like it's a
good.
nice little it's a little mid slice of bread and butter while we wait for the rest of the show. By the way, is the next episode coming out next week, or are we gonna have to wait 4 months for this like Outsiders?
No, I think next week because they said like it's both episodes are happening in November, so
okay,
which makes sense because it kind of feels like they shot it all in one day or like one production block, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so guess we have to preempt this next one because we normally don't talk about Godzilla. So every year, Godzilla Fest. There's a thing called
We did the
Godzilla
Gigan
Fest.
one last year.
Oh yeah, we did. But like basically, for people who didn't watch that one, short films are made for Godzilla's anniversary. There's stupid ways that they get limited every year, but we managed to catch these. Even if they didn't have English subtitles, but like you don't need English subtitles for these. They're very much visual storytelling.
So if you watch them on the official YouTube upload, there are subtitles when you hit the captions button.
Okay, I did not know that because I watched it with friends and they did it. They said there was no captions. So, but yeah. First up is the CGI live action hybrid short Godzilla vs. Megalon 2023, made by the people who did the Gigan short from last year.
I actually like this significantly better than the Gigan short. Like that one was kind of just bare bones, and I didn't really follow what was going on a lot of the time. This actually felt like a little slice of a Godzilla movie, and it had some impactful moments that I really enjoyed. I love this new design for Gigan. I would love to see, not Gigan, Megalon. I would love to see this get a Monsterarts or be used in an actual movie, because it is like, it's a perfect modern reimagining of just big ass freaky bug boy.
Yeah, I do. And I think like what helps is Gigan was a fully animation, while this has live action elements to kind of like ground a bit and give more backstory and context.
Yeah, so, like there's a bit where you see a couple trying to find a shelter and they get straight up blowed up.
Yeah, it's real good. And you even get the reference to dropkick in this thing, even though I don't think the dropkick happened in Megalon. Did the dropkick happen in Megalon? I forgot already.
But no, it was good. It was solid. It was a nice little 10 minutes.
I do like the other short we're about to talk about more, like way
Definitely.
more, but like still, this was a solid one. And speaking of that other short, Godzilla Operation Jet Jaguar, you go off.
This was peak fiction, boys. I was fucking here for this from moment one, where they're like, yeah, no, Jet Jaguar is fully autonomous. He's his own guy. He's gonna go out and save the day. And I mean, like, it's not like he's never not been that, but that they couched it in all this modern stuff of like, oh yes, he's got an AI built personality, and he's going to go out into the battlefield, and we've spent all our military budget into forming this as a countermeasure because Godzilla just won't stop fucking shit up now that all the other monsters are gone. And then it's just the 70s costume in all its goofy glory. I'm like, okay, I'm picking up what you're putting down. Let's go. And then that fucking oneer where he's just running at Godzilla and dodging the atomic breath in a bunch of creative ways. I was like, oh, these boys have watched Galaxy Fight. And they learned from that shit really well. Like when Jet Jaguar does the fucking somersault to dodge atomic breath, I straight up yelped in delight. It was wonderful.
Yeah, it feels real modern, like modern tokusatsu techniques, but with these like classic Godzilla characters, and I love it.
Yeah, the suit acting in this was so good. Jet Jaguar felt like a real character. You could tell everything about his personality and what was going on with him at every moment of it. And a big part of that is just like subtle little tilts of the head and the way the face is lit. I love that they put these bright ass LEDs in the eyes and like kept changing the dimness on them to like show emotion and stuff like that. That was such a cool touch. And it made me fall in love with the character all over again, because I've always liked Jet Jaguar even before I watched versus Megalon. I've always thought like I love that there's just a goofy ass Ultraman knockoff superhero in Godzilla. That's great. But now I was straight up like, no, Jet Jaguar is not just like a great Godzilla side character. Jet Jaguar should straight up be the Robin to Godzilla's Batman. Because
Yeah.
that moment where he fucking sees King Ghidorah coming and they clasp hands and stand up and gives the thumbs up and they're ready to fight together, I was like, let's go. I am ready for next year's short film.
Yeah, because next year's Ghidorah's anniversary, and this was made for Megalon and Jet Jaguar's anniversary. So
And
yeah,
next year they're doing I forget what the exact title and the subtitle said, but it was something like Mega Monster Bash. So I think it's going to be every design from these short films coming back.
yeah, because this is like I think every Godzilla fan I said, I haven't watched Final Wars yet, but they said this is Final Wars Goji that they're using for like all these short films. So it's like this might be Final Wars Goji's last hurrah because that suit's getting up there. So
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't be surprised if they like end the storyline they've been doing with these short films with next year's one, so that they can devote more production time to maybe doing movies more regularly if minus one is as big a success as they're hoping it to be.
yeah. Speaking of movies, I've been watching a lot of them. Like
Yeah, have you watched all of Showa Godzilla now?
Yep.
My God.
Except Zone Fighter. I want to watch Zone Fighter eventually because that's technically part of the Showa Godzilla era. But that's for another day. How do I feel about these movies? Well, I already have. There's 15 Showa Godzilla movies. I already have 3 of the reviews of. I've already reviewed 3 of the movies on my YouTube. You're gonna get the other reviews eventually. So I guess I'll just quickly run through the ones I haven't covered on the YouTube so far. Starting with Mothra versus Godzilla. It was fine. I don't really like I like Mothra the character. I don't really like the plots she's in early on in the Showa era because there's just a lot of stereotypical native stuff, and I'm like, not a fan. There's some cool action. It just didn't really click with me. It also just didn't help that it wasn't as over the top or funny as versus King Kong. Versus King Kong's a great film. I love that one. And then Ghidorah the Three-Headed Monster. It was fine. It's kind of my least favorite Showa Godzilla film besides Raids Again, which might be a hot take.
Damn, Buster out here with the Godzilla hot takes.
Yeah. The third act, Monster Ball's great, but I do like how it slowly transitions Godzilla into a heroic figure by giving him an even bigger threat. And we get Rodan is officially indoctrinated into the Godzilla verse with this movie after his solo movie.
Oh yeah, the fucking Starscream of the Godzilla universe is here now.
Yeah, and other than that, it's kind of slow, and I don't really care for the humans in this one. Now Invasion of the Astro Monster, that's a hood classic. I love Invasion of the Astro Monster. This is the one with the victory dance in space.
Yeah, and the goofy aliens.
Yeah, and it's actually like real good. One of the actors is an American, and he's actually like a really charismatic character.
Oh yeah, I remember. This guy's like legendary as like people are always like lovingly make fun of him as like he was a big up and coming American actor at the time, and then he did this movie and his career like completely dropped off, and now he's most well known for having been in Godzilla.
That's hilarious. I did not know that, but like yeah, it's cool. I like the character. And the alien invasion plot's pretty good. And it's probably like the better of the King Ghidorah duology that they had there. It just feels like more refined. As for Ebra, Horror of the Deep, I'm looking through my notes to like help me remind me. I
got bits of that one on cable.
Yeah, Ebra has a really good premise because it's like the reason the humans are doing what they're doing is to find a family member. But again, it kind of also suffers from the Mothra movies of the stereotypical Islander stuff, so just, it's just kind of like, it's a fine movie. And if you want to see Godzilla fight a giant lobster, go ahead. It's good. It's
or you
fine.
could just read Godzilla Here There Be Dragons.
Yeah, true.
He fights Ebra twice in that, and both times are awesome.
Oh, yeah, that's a good use of Ebra. Now we get to some of my favorite ones. Son of Godzilla. I really enjoy Son of Godzilla.
Yeah, this is where it like just straight up gets into goofy territory, doesn't it?
Yeah, but I like the bond between Minura and I think the name's Minura. Minura. Minna. Like the Legend of Zelda character. But Minna and Goji is really wholesome, and I even like the plot of the film a bit. The plot. I mainly like the kaiju plot, but like the human plot's serviceable. It works, but like the kaiju plot really like holds this one together for me. Now Destroy All Monsters, the intended finale for the series. It kind of feels like a retread of Invasion of the Astro Monsters. But it's kind of a nice, like, for a pitched finale, it works because everyone destroys Ghidorah's suit because they thought it was the last film, and then immediately they greenlit All Monsters Attack, which I'll get to. But yeah, Destroy All Monsters, it's a solid movie, and I do like some of it's like it kind of like does it's kind of liberating to see Ichiro Honda, who is very strictly anti-war, portray a world of peace and destroy all monsters, like, or at least a world close to peace, you know?
Yeah.
Now, All Monsters Attack is usually considered to be one of the worst ones. This was my biggest surprise because I actually liked it a lot. Now, it is the clip show one. This is the clip show one. But I think for the context of the clips is well utilized because it's like it's a kid imagining like Monster Island. So it kind of like makes sense that a kid would like think of his favorite bits from a Godzilla movie and put it there along with his like original stuff, you know?
Wait, is Monster Island not a real thing?
Well, in this movie, it's an imaginary island because it's kind of like a meta take where it's like the kid likes Godzilla films, so he imagines himself on Monster Island hanging out with the son of Godzilla and all the kaiju, and then that's like where he gets life lessons to like learn, and it kind of is a bit
Yeah, I think I've seen clips from this one. I seem to remember a little Hiroshi hanging out with Minna at one point.
Yeah, that's this movie. I just it's an acquired taste, I'll fully admit it, but I liked it a lot. Now we get to my second favorite of like the whole show of Godzilla movies versus Hedorah. This is a real I'm very excited to make a video on this because I really love this one. There's like animated.
You also need to realize that is the real hot take because I've always heard old Godzilla fans say like, "Oh, this is the one where they weren't even trying and it totally went to shit." And it's so goofy and there's a totally like half-assed, really of its time, uninformed environmentalist take in it.
Well, nah, the environmental message still hits, especially with the last line of the film when it says, "Will they be another?" Kind of in reference to Hedorah, which like, oh, that gave me some existential crisis a bit at the end of the film, but hey, it's still a really, I think, like, it is a bit heavy-handed, but I still think the message is well told. And there's a lot of cool visual storytelling in this one, where it's like especially of the 70s psychedelic. It's fun. It kind of like a friend described it to me best, where like versus Hedorah gives you like all the span of emotions you would feel in like multiple Godzilla films in one. Like you got the goofy Godzilla, you got the serious Godzilla, you got all tones of Godzilla are present in this, you know? And I think it might become even more special as it goes on, like for me. So like as I continue these marathons and I eventually rewatch versus Hedorah. So versus Gigan is weird. Not
it is, isn't it?
No, because I like the human plot more than Gigan. The Gigan is cool, like, but just the kaiju stuff has kind of like been there, done that. But the human
it feels
plot,
like an afterthought, doesn't it?
Yeah, because the human plot's real good. I love the premise of this manga artist, like trying to like working for this theme park, and then he has to like go find out the truth of the theme park. That's real cool. But everything else is like, oh, I don't know. It's just been there, done that. Versus Megalon, I don't love it as much as I wanted to, but it's still real fun.
Yeah.
Because the Jet Jaguar subplot really carries it. For me.
Also, first gay couple in Tokusatsu. You gotta love it.
Yeah, they're pretty gay. And then we got the Mechagodzilla duology. I didn't like the first one versus Mechagodzilla, but Terror of Mechagodzilla is much more interesting.
I still haven't seen a single fucking Mechagodzilla film, and I need to fix that.
The only one I saw before this marathon was the Millennium one against Mechagodzilla, which is one of my favorite like Godzilla things I've seen so far.
Yeah, people
So,
always tell me that's like one of the best Godzilla movies, period.
oh yeah, period. It's the one of Kiryu, and it's real good. And like Terror of Mechagodzilla has Titanosaurus, who might have like one of my favorite, like the stuff they do with him, like narratively, is one of some of my favorite stuff in a Godzilla film. So yeah, that's all the show air of Godzilla. I binged this within like 4 days.
Damn. Heisei Era next week?
We'll see. Depends if I have time. The plan was like the day after I would start on Heisei, but stuff came up, so
Yeah, that does tend to happen, doesn't it?
yeah. So there is my Godzilla ranking. I mean, not rankings, just opinions so far. Please at me if you think I am bad.
Yeah, and go watch Buster's Godzilla videos that are already out. YouTube.com at Buster Corp.
Yeah.
Where else?
What stuff
Oh,
did you watch?
I forgot I watched anything. I was already going into the outro. I finally got back to Agito this week. I watched episodes 11, 12, and 13, and Agito is still really dang good. I still like the slow burn mystery they're doing. I like how they were like hinting at an almost Kuga like backstory and reasoning for Agito existing, and then they go like, "Psych! It's a fucking ruse. This guy is pulling on his sister." I was like, "Oh, that's actually really clever. Bravo!" In a way. And the whole like inter police drama with Hikawa and Hojo is still really entertaining and feels annoyingly realistic.
Yeah. Actually,
I really
speaking of
like all the
Hojo,
characters.
I keep seeing him pop off in like random because there's this meme where he says something along the lines of a Call of Duty, and people are like they made a meme of that where it's like they red circle and then they show the Halo box art because haha funny. And I just see that keep sharing in just random servers. They're
I
just
haven't
like
seen that at all, but hey, fucking, you gotta love old Kamen Rider becoming memes.
yeah, it's good. It's just like I'm just like Hojo jump scare in just random places.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Hojo, everybody's favorite asshole. He's truly the MJF of Kamen Rider.
yeah. All right, now we can end the podcast.
All right, where can they find your content, Buster?
At the Buster Corp channel. We were gonna do Godzilla videos all month. We're still gonna do Godzilla videos this month, just not all month. So hey, stick around. We got lots of good stuff coming. You get more refined opinions on my Godzilla hot takes as the month will progress, and yeah, it's gonna be all sorts of fun. I'm also at social medias wherever you may choose.
Yeah. And I'm the Vacuuminator. I make YouTube videos about things, maybe things you like, maybe things you don't. I don't give a fuck. Just watch them and hit the like button. YouTube.com at the Vacuuminator. I got a video out this week on the other free Transformers Armada toys that have come out in the Legacy line since I last did a video on Hotshot and Starscream. So if you want to check that out, you can go do that. You can also follow me on Instagram for toy photography. That's at _Vacuuminator. I'm on Blue Sky doing Blue Sky things, thevacuuminator.bsky.social, and I'm on Tumblr doing Tumblr things, thevacuuminator.tumblr.com. But folks, that's gonna do it for everything that happened this week in Tokusatsu. We'll see you back here for whatever happens next week in Tokusatsu.